So I feel very fortunate and lucky about this, but in the past 5 years that we've run the Bear Chase Trail Race, it has been voted the best trail race in Colorado those past 5 years. And then this past year, it was actually voted the best trail race nationally on competitor.com, as voted on by the runners themselves. And then Chase the Moon, in its very first year, was actually voted best race shirt. So again, it's all about the race swag. But best race shirt, both in competitor, on competitor.com, both locally here in Colorado and nationally as well. So, and our race shirt does glow in the dark. The Bear Chase, this will be the 6th year for the Bear Chase Trail Race out in Bear Creek Lake Park, just basically right across the highway from Red Rocks Amphitheater. And the whole concept with that, again, was just spawned by my own training runs and just out training for my own ultras. And I found some really good loops and runs that I was doing out in Bear Creek Lake Park for my own training, and thought, hey, this is a cool concept. The mileage was kind of adding up to where, hey, we could put this together for an actual race. And so kind of inspired by a few of the other ultra marathons that I had run previously, I wanted to create that same experience or provide that same race experience that I had received and that I had enjoyed, and let's put it out there for other people to enjoy as well. So we actually have 5 different distances, and we have the Baby Bear 10K, and so that's for beginners or if you just want to come out and run a shorter distance. Then we have a half marathon. We've got a 50K, 50 mile, and also the 100K if you really want to get after it and go get a buckle. Chase the Moon is actually, I absolutely love the concept. I'm glad that we've been able to launch it and get it out there for people to try out. But I think with Chase the Moon, so basically how the whole race concept started is I was doing a lot of ultra training myself. I was out doing night runs, getting prepped for races like Leadville and some of my other 100-milers that I was running. And so out there doing these races or doing these ultras at night or pacing people at night, I think night running is fantastic. It's a completely different experience. Trails that you would normally see during the day, they look totally different at night. And then to top it all off, I've had just some awesome runs under the full moon, and so that's where the concept kind of came together. And was doing a bunch of night training runs with my good friend and assistant race director Ben Reeves. We were doing a bunch of night runs, and we thought, hey, this is kind of cool, because is there any way that we could bring this experience to other people without having make them go and run 100 miles, or if they weren't in a position where they could go pace someone at 100-miler at night. So we thought, hey, let's go ahead and let's set this up. And so the trail system that we selected is down in Highlands Ranch, the backcountry trail system, and it's a pretty open and exposed system. So there's not a lot of foliage, so it can get really hot during the day, but it's absolutely perfect because the views are just spectacular at night, especially under a full moon. So it's not just for, and again, I mean, yes, the concept was originally derived to be set up for a solo ultra runner, someone who, again, training for a 100-mile race, so they want to get that experience of running at night. If they're running their first 50K, or they want to try to run 50 miles or 100 miles, because it's a 12-hour event from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. But we also have the relay component, which is just a blast. And so that's where you can get together and form a team of 3 people or a team of 5 people, and you can go out and run. So basically, the 5-people teams, 5-person teams, they're probably going to have the average team member is going to run anywhere from about 7 miles to 16 miles, depending upon how you set up your team, between the short loop and the long loop. And the 3-person teams, they're going to be running anywhere from 20 to 30 miles, depending upon how fast they are and how advanced they are. So it really is it's something for everyone. The trail system is not incredibly technical. It's not over the top. It's, again, right here in Metro Denver, so it's not like you've got to go and drive 2 to 3 hours to go and find this race. So it's really logistically easy. there's room to camp out, so the teams will camp out overnight, and then while one member of the team is out running, and the rest will be hanging out, sleeping, relaxing, waiting for their turn to go run. That'll be July 31st down in Highlands Ranch at Mountain Vista High School, and you can sign up online for that at chasethemoonrace.com. And we'll have packet pickup at Runners Roost Lone Tree the weekend of the race. I think a lot of it starts with having someone who's run those types of races themselves personally. They've had great experiences. Maybe they've run races where it hasn't been their best experience, and so I think it's really important that you get someone who's experienced and they understand what works, what doesn't, and what they would want in a race. And from that, I think that's where really the passion starts. And so if you, I don't know, I guess my concept in life has always been, if you love what you're doing and you're doing it the right way and you work really hard at it, then the money is going to take care of itself. So you don't have to worry about trying to go out and just make a buck because you're putting on an event. Do it the right way, and people are going to continue to come back. And so I really do think that providing that fantastic race experience for people is important. And so it's getting out there, it's making sure that all those small details are met. And also too, I think one of the most important pieces of that is having fantastic volunteers. Probably the best thing about our events is just that we have amazing volunteer support out there. Again, people who are runners, they've been doing it themselves, they care about the running community, they want to help others achieve their goals and have amazing experiences as well. And so when you have that kind of a team that's out there putting it together for everyone, then it just makes my job really fun, because then I can sit there and, I mean, yeah, it's a lot of work, but I can sit out there and just watch people having a blast. Boy, I would say probably the number one thing that you can do is just get consistent early and try to come up with some good attainable goals right out of the gate. There's so many extreme events that people can do in Colorado, whether it's the Pikes Peak Marathon or something like the Leadville Trail 100. There's so many of these high altitude mountain races and mountain events that you can jump right into, but obviously starting small with something that is doable, achievable, and build from there, that's the best way to go about it. I mean, you want to make sure that you just don't get hurt right out of the gate. Again, I would probably say pick some races that you think are achievable, attainable, and obviously look to a good training group, a good training program, something like what we run with Runners Edge of the Rockies. I think it's the best way to have that group support, have that organization. We run and train year round, and we have runners of all ability and all experience level and all demographics that come out, and we do long runs every single weekend, and we do trail runs and speed work. Having that kind of group support and also the coaching and the knowledge to make sure that you're doing it the correct way, I mean, that's what we try to provide with Runners Edge of the Rockies. And so obviously I think it's a great thing for someone who's just looking to get in. You know, they're looking to run a couple of races, and we also have people who are looking to run their fastest races, qualify for Boston. We've got a couple of girls right now who we're training with us who are actually trying to qualify for the Olympic trials. Really, I would say I mean 98% of the runners that you see out there, they're not going to be winning races. They're not going to be standing on the podium. Maybe if you run a smaller race and you get lucky, then you can win your age group or something like that. But I mean, these are just normal, everyday people who love to run, love to push themselves, love to accomplish things. There's a lot of cool race bling out there. Everyone wants the bling. So yeah, they just go out and they have fun and run half marathons, marathons. We've got members getting into ultras and triathlons as well. And so it's a good supportive group of just everyday people who love to get out there and run, whether it's their first or their 50th. One of the great things that we have with Runner's Edge is we've got 11 different pace groups, including our walking group as well. So if you're running sub 7 minute per mile splits, or you're running 12 minute per mile splits, you're gonna have people at your own pace to be able to run with, and you've got the training methodology that's going to help you for your current fitness level? I would say it's the people in the group, to be totally honest. I think it really is made up of just some amazing individuals who are so supportive of each other. There is a competitive mindset to say, I'm going to push myself as hard as I can, and I'm going to get the most out of myself that I can. But you know, we see the members that are out there every single weekend, and they're not competing against each other. It's not like, okay, well, I have to be better than this person that I'm training with, or I have to beat them every single time. In fact, I think it's just the opposite. I think that you know, you see how incredibly supportive they are of each other, encouraging each other, whether it's a long run, whether it's a really hard workout. If we're doing Tuesday hill workouts or Tuesday speed work, you just really see some amazing people and amazing encouraging attitudes out there. And I think that's really what it's all about. That's the core of why our training program is so strong, I think it's amazing. I feel incredibly blessed to get to know these people and to share in their success and their stories. And my whole goal is, I mean, I'm not, as a coach, I'm not out there running the races for them. I'm not running their miles in training for them. I'm not doing that for them. My goal is just to try and put the pieces in place or the program in place so that they can be successful, so they have that opportunity to be successful. So whether it's just setting up the training runs or, you know, giving them the advice and the support of the training plan that they need to be successful, I mean, that's my goal. But they're out there doing it. They got to do the work themselves. So I feel very lucky and fortunate, and it's incredibly inspiring and motivating to me as well. Everyone's getting finisher bling this year because it's all about the bling. So yes, even the Baby Bear 10K finishers, they will be getting finisher bling for sure. No question. Registration for both events are open. You can go to chasethemoonrace.com and you can go to bearchaserace.com. And if you get signed up for both races before May 31st, you get some pretty sweet apparel included, some bonus apparel this year included.